Anatomy of the medulla will be incomplete without description of the mucosal folds. Generally, the mucosa of the medulla is a single non-cuboidal epithelium, 2 to 3 cells depth, without a basement membrane. But in some places, especially towards the epitympanum, promontory and hypotympanum, think you are familiar with the words epitympanum, meso and hypotympanum. It was already described in our earlier classes. I'll just draw that. This is your external aortic canal and your tympanic membrane. Then coming to the ossicles, neck, your malleus, stapes, incus and your stapes. Okay. So this is your past tensor. This past tensor and the other part is a past flaccida, and an imaginary line drawn through the upper part of past tensor and another imaginary line drawn through the lower part of past tensor. So this divides the upper epitympanum, the middle mesotympanum and the lower hypotympanum. So it is very clear from here that this head of malleus, head and neck of malleus and the body and the short process of incus are in the epitympanum, and the long process along with stapes are in the mesotympanum, and there is no ossicles in the hypotympanum. So the mucous membrane covers the bony wall of the middle ear, and it also covers the ossicles as well as the ligaments. And a great person called Proctor, he is a person who has done a lot of work in this area, and he described the mucosal folds of middle ear like the peritoneum of the abdominal cavity. Because all this mucosa from the bony wall, it goes and covers the ossicles as well as the ligaments, and it forms a fold like thing, mucosal fold. And these ossicles and the ligaments and the muscles of the middle ear are compared to the viscera, and the mucosal folds are compared to the mesentery of the abdomen. Okay, so basically this we can think this as myself as a malleus. So this is a head of malleus and this is a neck of malleus. This is my lateral part, my medial part, anterior and posterior. So my head and my neck of the malleus are included in the epitympanum along with the body and the short process of incus, which are attached to the posteromedial surface of the head of malleus. This view is from above. If you are sitting on the top, on the attic and looking downwards, you can see this. So this will be anterior, posterior, lateral and medial. So the epitympanum is separated from the mesotympanum by the ossicles, head of malleus, body and the short process of incus. Two muscles, one is the tensor tympani and this one is the stapedius. Tensor tympani and stapedius, and ligament, this blue colored. I have drawn the ligaments in blue color This is the anterior malleolar ligament, and this one lateral malleolar ligament, and this one posterior ingudal ligament. So, if this is the head and neck of malleus, anterior malleolar ligament, lateral from the neck it goes to the lateral malleolar ligament, and from the short process of fingers goes the posterior ingudal ligament. And to these ligaments, if this is a ligament, this mucosa from the bone comes and engulfs it, overlaps it or covers it and goes back, so that it forms a fold. So, this over the tensor tympani tendon, the mucosa from the bone comes and covers it and go back. So this green color become this greenish. That is the, don't think that tensor fold is greenish, right? So that is the tensor fold. This is a tensor fold. And this one, tell, yes, anterior malleolar fold. So towards the anterior, it is an anterior malleolar fold. Then this one, lateral malleolar fold. This one is a lateral malleolar fold. And on the superior aspect, there are two folds. Here in this section you can see, this is from the 3 dimension from the posterior view. From above, again there are two folds. One is the superior malleolar fold. This one, this thing. Here, this is the superior malleolar fold. This thing. This is the superior malleolar fold. Superior malleolar fold. And this one is the superior malleolar fold. And from it, through the body and the short process running transversely, it is a superior ingudal fold. Superior ingudal fold. In this view, this is from the posterior view, this direction. It goes like this one. So this is the superior ingudal fold. Okay. Then the superior malleolar fold divides the epitympanum into an anterior compartment and a posterior compartment, right? And this superior ingudal fold divides the posterior epitympanum into a medial space called the superior ingudal space, lateral space called superior ingudal space, and a medial space called medial ingudal space. Don't get confused. The posterior epitympanum is again divided by the superior ingudal fold into a lateral part and a medial part. Lateral part or the lateral space is not called the lateral ingudal space, but it is called the superior ingudal space, and the space medial to the superior ingudal fold is called the medial ingudal space. Okay. And this superior ingudal space is actually coming above the lateral ingudal fold. Now it is evident from this diagram that the epitympanum is separated from the mesotympanum below. So this much is the epitympanum, and below this is the mesotympanum by the head of malleus, body and the short process of incus, tensor tympani, stapedius, tensor fold, anterior malleolar fold, lateral malleolar fold, lateral ingudal fold. This one is the lateral ingudal fold. Then over the stapedius tendon, this one, mucosa covers the stapedius tendon, and this is called the plica stapedius. Okay, this is a plica stapedius. And all this separates the epitympanum from the mesotympanum except two areas. And through these two openings or two holes, this epitympanum can communicate with the mesotympanum. This is one space is here. This is isthmus tympani andicus. Isthmus tympani andicus, and this area isthmus tympani posticus. So, isthmus tympani anglicus is an opening between the tensor tympani muscle and the stapes. And isthmus tympani posticus is an area between pyramid, stapedius tendon and the short prosophagus. So through this anterior and posterior opening, this epitympanum communicate with the mesotympanum. And in some cases, this tensor fold will be absent. Actually, what is the function of this tensor fold? Tensor fold, here the tensor fold separates the epitympanum from the anterior mesotympanum. It will come around somewhere here, so it will separate or spread off. Before coming to that, what is the use of studying about this mucosal fold? Why you are giving this much of time for studying this mucosal fold? The importance of mucosal fold is that, one, this is very important for knowledge of the spread of cholesteatoma. And secondly, in all endoscopic otologic surgery, anatomy of mucosal fold is very important. In some cases, in some patients, this tensor fold will be absent. There won't be any tensor fold. So what happens? This superior malleolar fold comes and it will extend medially. So there is a space in the anterior epitympanum through which this epitympanum or the attic communicate with the mesotympanum, especially the eustachian tubal area. And that space, this space is called the supratubal space. This is called supratubal space. Okay, supratubal space is a space. In some case patient, this tensor fold will be absent and there will be a fold anterior to the medial extension of the superior malleolar fold, and through this the epitympanum communicate with the anterior mesotympanum, especially around the eustachian tube area. So that is called the supratubal space. And in the epitympanum, another important thing is a Prusac space. Prusac. Prusac space. What is that? What are the boundaries? Usually the boundaries of Prusac space are usually asked in viva as well as a short note. So this is the Prusac space. That is, earlier I told this is the head of malleus, the neck of malleus and the lateral process of malleus. From the lateral process, anterior and posterior malleolar folds come. This is anterior. So anterior and posterior malleolar folds will go from the lateral process of the malleus. So this lateral malleolar ligament and connecting to the lateral malleolar ligament, there is a lateral malleolar fold. This lateral malleolar fold goes from the neck of malleus and fans into the notch of Rivinus. Where is the notch of Rivinus? It is in the tympanic membrane. Your anterior and posterior malleolar fold, and here comes the notch of Rivinus, and this part is the pars flaccida. So that area. So here, okay, between the neck of malleus internally, pars flaccida or the Sharpnell's membrane externally, above by the lateral malleolar fold and below by the lateral process of malleus. This is the Prusac space. Here, this is the Prusac space. So this is the lateral malleolar fold. This is the lateral process. This is the Sharpnell's membrane or pars flaccida. And here also you can see, right? So in this picture, this is the lateral malleolar fold, and this is the Prusac space. Here comes this Prusac space. So this is the lateral process, neck of malleus, handle of malleus, and this is the Prusac space. Inside that, inside this is a lateral inside this. So it is covered above by the lateral malleolar fold, below by the lateral process, internally by the neck of malleus, externally by the pars flaccida. The importance is that here comes a pars flaccida. So this can be the site of a development of a cholesteatoma. How? Earlier stages, only the pars flaccida forms an invagination into the Prusac space. So if the epithelial migration happens, don't worry, no problem for that. Epithelial migration happens normally and the invagination will stay there. At any condition, if there is no proper epithelial migration, then what happens? This invagination will enlarge, will go more into the Prusac space. So there will be collection of keratin in the Prusac space. This keratin forms a keratin ball, and when this solid structure or the keratin plug get moisture, it will swell. And swelling causes what? This is a small space, and if it swells, this will cause pressure effect on the bone. So that there will be absorption of the bone, resorption of the bone, osteitis formation and granulation tissue formation. So there will be, first there will be an invagination of the Prusac space, from there keratin plug is formed or the mucus plug is formed. Later formation of cholesteatoma. And from there the cholesteatoma can go in three directions. Prusac space, it can go to three directions. One, that is the commonest pathway. Commonest pathway, it will go to the, which is this space? Lateral to the superior inguinal fold, that is a superior malleolar fold. Superior inguinal space. Okay, so the commonest route is the posterior route. Commonest route is the posterior route. Posteriorly it goes to the superior inguinal space, that is in the posterior epitympanum. And second common or the frequent, another frequent route is into this route. This is a lateral malleolar fold. Above is the this is a lateral inguinal fold. This fold. Above is the superior inguinal space and below is the inferior inguinal space. So the commonest route is posterior spread into the superior inguinal space. Sometimes it will go inferior to the lateral inguinal fold, going for an inferior inguinal space. Here, inferior inguinal space, and this space is in the mesotympanum, and that is in the posterior mesotympanum, right? Inferior. It goes to inferior inguinal space. So the cholesteatoma will be, in that case, it will be limited to the mesotympanum posteriorly. And third, it's a rare spread, is will go into the anteriorly. From here it will go anteriorly. First into the anterior pouch of von Rosch, that will come later. Anterior pouch of von Rosch, and then it will go to the anterior mesotympanum. So remember this Prusac space, it's an area bounded above by the lateral malleolar fold, below by the lateral process of malleus, internally by the neck of malleus and externally by pars flaccida. It's a common site of lodgement of cholesteatoma. It is cholesteatoma, in that case, just three route of spread. Most common posteriorly to the superior inguinal space. Frequent one is inferiorly into the inferior inguinal space, or it can also go anteriorly, first to the space of anterior von Rosch and from there to the anterior mesotympanum. One thing regarding this isthmus tympani anticus and posticus, usually the medulla get ventilation through the eustachian tube. First the air comes into the mesotympanum, from there to this pouches it will go to the epitympanum. If a mucus plug or keratin plug cause an obstruction of these two pouches, this epitympanum will not get sufficient aeration. In that case, there will be sufficient aeration of the mesotympanum and hypotympanum, but there will be selective dysfunctioning of the attic dysfunction, selective dysfunction of the attic, and there also there is chance of formation of a cholesteatoma, and this happens more often in case of a secretory otitis media. So at that stage, if you are giving treatment by selectively removing this mucus plug, there will be complete resolution of the disease. And in the mesotympanum, so in the epitympanum we talked about the superior ingudal space and the Prusac space, and there are three spaces in the mesotympanum. So this is malleus, incus, short process and head and body and short process of incus. This one, what is this one? Superior ingudal fold. And this one, anterior malleolar fold. And what is this thing? This is the lateral ingudal fold. And this one, medial ingudal fold. Here, this one, this part. This one is, and this is interossicular fold. That is between the long process of incus and upper two-third of the body of malleus. This is the handle of malleus. So upper two-third. This is the tympanic membrane. This is the tympanic membrane, handle of malleus. This is the lateral process of malleus. Lateral process. This is handle. So interossicular ligament is between the long process of incus and upper two-third of the handle of malleus. So between this space comes the inferior ingudal space. So inferior ingudal space, there are three spaces in the mesotympanum. In the mesotympanum, one is the inferior ingudal space, this part, below this. So it is bounded above by the lateral ingudal fold, this one. Medially by the medial ingudal fold, laterally by the posterior malleolar fold, and anteriorly by the interossicular fold. Interossicular fold between the long process of incus and upper two-third of handle of malleus. So that is inferior ingudal space. Second one is the anterior pouch of von Rosch. Anterior pouch of von Rosch. Okay, anterior pouch of von Rosch lies between anterior malleolar fold and that part of tympanic membrane which lies anterior to the handle of malleus. This is the handle of malleus, and this is part is the anterior to handle of malleus. So between anterior malleolar fold and part of tympanic membrane anterior to the handle of malleus. And posterior pouch of von Rosch here. It is between the posterior. Third one is the posterior pouch of von Rosch. Posterior pouch of von Rosch between posterior malleolar fold and that part of tympanic membrane posterior to the handle of malleus. So in the mesotympanum there are three spaces: inferior ingudal space, anterior pouch of von Rosch and posterior pouch of von Rosch. Okay, development of the mucosal fold. What is the development of the medullary cleft? The medullary cavity developed from the tubotympanic recess, that is mainly from the first arch and partly from the second arch. At the beginning of the third week of intrauterine life, continuing through 4th to 10th week, there is invagination of the 4 endothelially lined sac into the first pharyngeal pouch. And these invaginations later form the mucosal fold as well as the ligaments. As a tubotympanic recess on the first pharyngeal arch. Towards that there are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 endothelially lined invaginations into the first arch, and these invaginations later form the mucosal folds and also the ligaments, and when they come in contact with each other, it will be like this. Okay. And when they come and in contact with each other, they divide the middle ear cavity into various compartments. So mainly there are saccus, 4 saccus. They are saccus medius, then saccus andicus or anterior, third is saccus superior, and saccus posterior. So these are the 4 saccule, and from here there is anterior, posterior, medial and superior. There is no lateral. Remember, there is no lateral. For remembrance, you can think it as the code can be as PAMS, PMS, posterior, anterior, medial and superior. So from the saccus medius, again divided into 3. Anterior saccule, medial saccule and a posterior saccule. So this divide into an anterior saccule, then a medial saccule and a posterior saccule. Okay. So saccus medius again divided into an anterior, medial and a posterior saccules. So from the anterior saccule comes the anterior epitympanum, this part. Anterior epitympanum is from the anterior saccus of saccus medius. Anterior epitympanum. And from the medial saccule comes the Prusac space and the superior ingudal space. Okay, this Prusac space and the superior ingudal space has got a common origin from the medial saccus of saccus medius. That is why the cholesteatoma, spread of cholesteatoma from the Prusac space is commonly into the posterior route, into the superior ingudal space. So from here, two things, Prusac and superior ingudal space. Okay. Then from the posterior saccule, this posterior saccule goes to petrous part of temporal bone. Okay. So from the saccus medius again divided into anterior, medial and posterior part. From the anterior part forms the anterior epitympanum, and the medial divided into Prusac space and the superior ingudal space, and the posterior one goes to formation of a petrous part of temporal bone. And from the saccus andicus comes anterior, goes to forms the anterior pouch of Von Roche. Here, anterior pouch of Von Roche. Von Roche, and also anterior mesotympanum. Okay. So anterior pouch of Von Roche and anterior mesotympanum is from the saccus anterior, and from the saccus superior forms this one, posterior pouch of von Roche, then inferior inguinal space. Inferior inguinal space, this part. So posterior pouch of von Roche, inferior inguinal space and squamous part of temporal bone. So S superior is for squamous part, thing like that. Posterior of the medius forms the petrous part of temporal bone. So posterior pouch of von Roche, inferior inguinal space and squamous part of temporal bone. Okay, and from the saccus posticus, what are things? Posterior middle ear, hypotympanum, posterior mesotympanum. Posterior mesotympanum, hypotympanum. This hypotympanum is formed from that, and also facial recess, sinus tympani, oval window and round window. So posterior mesotympanum, hypotympanum, our oval window, round window, sinus tympani and facial recess. Okay, so this is about the development. So to summarize, we studied the mucosal folds of the middle ear, which is broadly divided into an epitympanum and the mesotympanum. Epitympanum is completely separated from the mesotympanum by the head of malleus, body and the short process of incus, and by the tensor tympani and stapedius tendon, anterior malleolar ligament, lateral malleolar ligament and the posterior inguinal ligament. And this tensor fold, anterior malleolar fold, lateral inguinal fold, plica stapedius and the medial inguinal fold. And there are two opening, isthmus tympani anticus and isthmus tympani posticus, to communicate with of the epitympanum with the mesotympanum. And in some cases, when the tensor tympani fold is absent, this anterior epitympanum communicate with the anterior mesotympanum through a supratubal space. Epitympanum again divided into a smaller anterior compartment and a larger posterior compartment by the superior malleolar fold. And a superior inguinal fold divides the posterior epitympanum into a medial superior inguinal, lateral superior inguinal space and a medial inguinal space. And here, and another important space in the epitympanum is the Prusac space. And in the mesotympanum there are there are three spaces: inferior inguinal space, anterior pouch of von Roche and the posterior pouch of von Roche. And coming to the development, there are four endothelial line pouches. They are the saccus medius, anterior, superior and posterior. From medius again divided into an anterior saccule, medial saccule and posterior saccule. From the anterior saccule comes the anterior epitympanum. Medial saccule forms the Prusac space and the superior inguinal space. And the posterior saccule of the saccus medius forms the petrous part of temporal bone. And saccus anterior forms the anterior pouch of von Roche and anterior mesotympanum. Saccus superior forms the posterior pouch of von Roche, inferior inguinal space and the squamous part of temporal bone. And the saccus posterior forms the posterior mesotympanum, hypotympanum, oval window, round window, sinus tympani and facial recess.